Hello, my name is Anna Recek and I'm here today to talk about how it is to be Brazilian and live in Poland. And welcome. I started to record videos in Portuguese a few months, maybe a year ago, just to show around Poland where I was living, what I was doing, to my mother in Brazil, to my family, to my friends in Brazil. And my friends here in Poland, they were just asking me all the time, hey, what are you talking about? Hey, so it's not just translating what I'm saying, because when I'm speaking Portuguese, I'm presuming that who are watching are Brazilian. And so I'm presuming a whole cultural background, so I don't need to explain why I'm saying things and why I feel this way or that way, because if you're Brazilian, you understand what I'm saying, you know that. So I am Brazilian, my mother family is Polish, my father family is Brazilian, kind of Italian, kind of native, kind of Portuguese. It's not possible to be Brazilian and not be mixed race. And that's not even a thing for Brazilians. Nobody asks you, are you mixed race or something like that? What are you? Are you white? Are you black? So awkward for me to be asked that. Am I white? I look white, I guess, but what kind of white I am, I don't know. I never really thought about until moving to Poland, and people really want to know what I am. I guess this is a thing mostly from USA. If you're from USA, they want to know. They need to know for like personal identity. Am I a Latina? Am I a white woman? Am I what? And in Brazil, really, we don't think about. Of course, it's not like there's no racism in Brazil. It's not that. But it's just a matter of having dark skin or lighter skin. But besides that, I don't know if. I don't know. It's not the same thing here. And so when I say like, oh, I'm 50% Polish and my father family is miscellaneous, mostly Italian, but also Portuguese natives, and people get like, oh, that's so cool. Oh my God, you're half Polish, half Italian. That's so exotic. That's why you look so exotic. And I'm like, okay, so I'm exotic now, cool. Yes, Brazilian, Polish, Italian, and things. So yeah, I have many cultural clashes here in Poland, and it's hard to talk about. And this is also one of the reasons that I was thinking about. I need to start speaking in English, to record in English, because I need to explain to my friends here in Poland what it is to be Brazilian. How does it feel? What do we have to offer, and how do we feel? Because when you are talking to other Brazilians, nobody really stop and think about how it is to be Brazilian in Poland. But when you start to meet foreigners, and I'm studying Polish in a foreigner school, so I had a class with eight different nationalities. I had different countries and very interesting colleagues from all around. And so, but in my first day there, the first thing one of my colleagues asked me when I stepped on the room, was on the classroom, was like, oh, how dangerous it is to live in Brazil. Can you walk on the streets? Are you able to walk on the streets, or people just jump on you and rob you and hurt you? And I was really angry about that. Like, how dare you? How dare you to say something like that? and I was just silent, because I know that's true. I know Brazil is super violent. I know it is possible for you to be walking on the street and someone just jump from behind a tree or a fence and just rob you. It's not even a surprise. It's like, oh, I was robbed. So why that hurt me so much? Probably because that was the first thing that the guy asked me about. And I know that news that get to other countries about Brazil are often about violence, carnival, music, football, or other sports. And that's mostly it. Maybe corruption nowadays, and politics, or a horrible president maybe. So sometimes even being a Latina in Poland, because we don't speak Spanish, we speak Portuguese, but we are Latinos. We are from Latin America. That means that we are Latinos. Some Brazilians don't like to be called Latinos, but that's stupid. We are Latinos. Okay. And that means hot-blooded. I don't look very Latina, I know, but in Brazil you can look like anything, and it's okay. You can be Japanese and you're stereotypical Brazilian from São Paulo. You can look like me. You can have even blonder hair. And you can be stereotypical Brazilian from the south. You can be black and be stereotypical Brazilian from any region. So anybody can be stereotypical Brazilian, but apparently the rest of the world have a very specific body type, skin color for Brazilians, and I don't fit it. So I always thought that when I moved to Poland, I will feel more embraced. I will feel more like I belong somewhere, because in Brazil I never felt like I belong. Even living in the south, where most really white people from German, Polish, Italian background are, even there I was never very much a Brazilian. Everybody, even whiter than me, they will be smaller than me. I'm not so tall. I like 1.80 m. That's like 5'10". I will write it down. Sorry, I'm not very good in foot. So it's not like super tall, but for Brazilians, Brazilians not a very tall country. So everybody was like, "Oh, you're so tall. You don't look Brazilian. Why are you so tall?" And I always felt like I must be because my mother family is Polish, and probably because. So when I moved here, I had the hope that I will feel like I belong somewhere finally. And when I got here in Poland, nobody thinks I belong here. It's funny because my husband, he's also not a stereotypical Brazilian. He's white, very, very white also. And they think like he is Polish. And when they see that I'm foreigners, they say, "Oh, you're here because your husband is Polish?" And I say, "No, he does not have a single drop of Polish blood in his body. Stop that. I do. I'm 50% Polish." And they say, "Oh, I could swear you're Russian because you're so big." And that's so frustrating. And because Polish girls, they are very tall, but they look like supermodels. They are very tall and very thin. And I am thick, let's say. I like a size 14, I guess. And I don't even consider myself fat, chubby, maybe thick. But for Polish standards, I'm fat, man. I don't. They're like, "Oh, we don't have clothes for you here." And you look around. Of course, there are fat people, not too fat. It's very, very difficult to see someone like very fat. But they are super thin, even older people. And it's cultural. They just have different, healthier habits for alimentation, for food. I don't know, food habits. How do you say that in English? Please teach me. So we have access to all the fast food here, everything. Poland is a first world country with all the food chains that you can imagine. I don't know, Starbucks, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Burger King, you name it. They are all here. They just don't eat that very much, and they don't eat as much as us Brazilians. And there's another interesting point about why do I need to give context when I say things like that, like Polish people are thin. But anyway, so some Polish people can understand Portuguese and they watch my channel, but not all of them can really understand what I'm saying because they don't have the same context, the same cultural background that I have. So when I say Polish people are thin, they feel offended, some of them, because they don't feel they are thin. They feel they are they are normal, of course. Nobody feels like, oh, I'm super thin. Well, I guess so. Some people probably, but they are very thin compared to my background, to my reality, to Brazilians. Brazilians are thick. I cannot buy pants here because even pants having they have my size in pants, but the shape of the pants are like they are straight. It's not like Brazilian pants that have a shape of a place for your butt, and they get smaller on your waist, because we have in Brazil we have small waist, big hips, and like these shapes, and here when they get fat they just get big bellies, so it's like an ice cream cone. Oh my god, I just jumping from one subject to the other because I don't really have anything special to say today. It's just that it's not easy to be a Latina living in Poland, but of course not so hard when you realize their cultural background that is very complex with all the communism and the wars and everything that Poland went through. It's very hard for someone like me from Brazil, very peaceful country, very young country, no so much of wars, a few battles, but nothing compared to Poland. So it's very hard to understand all this context. And so now I feel very comfortable here in Poland, and I think Polish people are very kind. They are super nice. We were super well received. We were embraced by my family, of course, and the community in Wrocław. We have a big Brazilian community, super cool, and we are bringing Brazilian music, Brazilian food, Brazilian parties to Poland, and this is crazy. And I guess there is a lot to show around and a lot to show for the rest of the world of what happened when you mix Brazilians with Poland, when you mix Brazilians with Polish people. And we have these crazy countries that are super creative, that are used to make it happen with few resources, to make it when you are poor, when you need to overcome trouble. And I guess that's what Brazilians have in common with Polish. We know how it is to not have everything, not have access to everything, and we know how to be happy anyway, how to make it do, how to make it happen with what we have. So I guess we have that in common, and it will be a great future for both countries together. So see you around. Bye bye, bye bye, ciao.